This is Sports Stuff with Jim Muff. Just under 2 weeks away from week 0 of the college football season.
Bless.
Life gets better.
Life will get better. It's, there we go. Quick in there. Guest today to help out with our NFL breakdown and the college football discussion. Welcome back to the show, Neme. Neme, welcome back.
Happy to be here. This is time to shine. Let's do it.
It is the time to shine. As always, we also have Alex,
Hello.
Nate,
Present.
James.
Hello.
And here we are. I'm Muff. It is almost time to get into college and the NFL football seasons. This week, we will continue our NFL division breakdowns with the AFC North. Sorry, Alex.
Go Brownies.
There we go. I was waiting for Alex's North. There we go. And the NFC South.
Crickets. I mean, that was appropriate. That was the silence we needed.
That was the Nate silence for the NFC South. That's perfect. Next week, this is the last of the NFL division breakdowns. Next week, we will do some discussion on the Big Ten and the Big 12.
Did you guys see my text message about the way I think we should do the breakdown?
Jim, have at it. You can set it up and figure out the graphic.
I can handle the graphic. I'll handle the whole thing.
Bingo.
But I think we should just have, and I can't remember the exact details. I'll bring it back when it's time for the show. But I just think we should rank them individually and put them out there. Instead of breaking it down and going through the positions and blah, 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 we just come out with our own rankings based on that graphic I sent you of who we think will perform, how we think they'll come out, and just leave it at that. That's what I think.
It's all you, buddy.
I'm on it. I will handle it next week. We doing both the Big 12 and the Big 10? Do it all at once?
Both will be happening.
All right.
You heard it here.
So next week, we will grip it and rip it for both.
Bingo. Alex, you ready for Big 12? Big 12 discussion?
Yeah. Yeah. Causes me to
It's not a lot of confidence from the WVU
I
fan.
did not feel great.
Just get ready to get roasted and that kind of stuff. But
No, that's assumptive.
Come on, it's Rich Rod time, dude. You got to be hyped up like he is.
oh, I am. I just don't want to
It's
be.
not about as hyped as Nate is.
I just don't want to be.
Alex is so hyped up he can't stop feeling himself over there.
First of all,
What are you doing?
I don't know.
You all right?
Yeah.
And this is a reminder for everybody. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube.
Yes.
Turn on those
Just so you can see
notifications.
that I'm rubbing my chest, my sternum. If you're listening, I have my hand on my sternum.
Right.
I know that your
Like-
neighbor back there can see it too.
Are you so excited that you're like, you got to calm yourself down? What are you doing?
All right. Thanks to everybody that's interacting on our socials at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
You got to redo that. You got tongue twisted. We got to do it appropriately. Come on.
All right, take 2.
At Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding ding.
Now,
You
That's
didn't, Jim. You didn't let Alex do his thing.
you're right. You're right. We're not doing it a third time.
Take three.
Go ahead.
At Sports Jim on
Ding ding.
That's Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Sports Stuff with Jim Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding ding.
All right, we did it. So, Muff, aside, before we go into sports, my kids have a bucket list for the summer, things they want to do, right? And they came to me and they said, Dad, we want to start a podcast. And I was like, okay. So I finally, after putting them off all summer, sat down with them and I recorded, hopefully, the makings of their podcast. And I sat in the Muff position for the first time ever. The conductor of a train of chaos. And you know what, man? Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. That felt like a betting episode unhinged.
So your kids were you and Alex?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I now understand.
We were super cool. and
Which
really
kid
fun.
was which, though?
Alex was Tess, and I most certainly was Zadie. Most
What was the
definitely.
podcast about? What was the podcast about?
This episode was more about their summer and getting ready for the school year. It's two sisters, and their view on life is basically their theme on
I think
on their
that's the name of
podcast.
the podcast. Two sisters and their view on life.
It's Glitter and Grit is the name of their podcast.
It's good. It's good branding. I like it.
Yep. But I can tell you, being in the Muff chair is not
Not as easy as it
it's
looks.
not an easy task. So thank you, Muff.
Some days I try, and I will say, just for everybody's benefit, the listeners and you all, that I am coming off a golf trip weekend where I was in Glade Springs Resort outside of Beckley, West Virginia for 4 days, and countless beers. So just coming off that, just got home about an hour and a half ago.
That's the tongue twister problem. You're still hungover.
Could be a bit of the issue arising here. Low sleep, high alcohol intake.
All right. So you're
So here we
saying
are.
Gabby's in charge.
That'll be me next Sunday. We're going a bunch of boys we went to college with. We're all doing our college fantasy draft in Zanesville at my buddy's house. So
There you go.
I do.
I'll be feeling it on Sunday. Next Sunday, that's for sure.
I do like that we immediately, out of me, Jim, and Nate, whenever we needed someone else who was going to have to be in charge, Jim was like, well, then you'll have to be in charge.
Neme is in charge. We're
So
not doing
none of
it.
us have the capacity to be in charge.
Nope.
I feel like Nate has the capacity, just not the
It's
voice.
the will.
It's the- well, maybe that's the one.
Me and Jim are not responsible enough to be in charge.
Mhm.
Nate cannot control us.
Yeah, no. He knows his limits.
I just let you two go to the death, that's all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there will be no intervention. Nate will just be an observer.
Yep.
All right, that brings us into this week's leadoff. Starting with the first college football coaches poll
Yeah.
has come out.
That happened.
We'll go through the top 10 here. We have Texas at 1, Ohio State at 2, Penn State at 3, Georgia 4, Notre Dame at 5. Jim's second favorite team, Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers at 6.
Ugh.
Oregon at 7, Bama at 8, LSU at 9, and Miami at 10, which may have been one of the more controversial picks, as well as within their conference, how many people are high on Miami, or many think that they will falter. Miami rounds out the top 10. Other teams of note, Illinois at 12. A lot of hype about Illinois coming into the season.
All right.
Michigan at 14. Jim,
Is
is that fair? In your estimation?
I mean, we still got to wait for them sanctions to fall, so they might be a no factor.
Okay.
But go ahead.
SMU at 16. Another
I
team
think-
that...
That's fair.
Okay. Indiana at 19, who I believe have like one of the easiest schedules again.
As always.
Has to be missed. A lot of their guys have to be gone. Then they take all their guys from their old coaching regime and from James Madison, and I think a lot of them graduated.
I don't think they did too bad in the offseason, though, as far as recruiting goes.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, we'll see there. BYU at 23, Alex.
I
That
think
may have been
it's-
the lone representative, or Iowa State's at 25,
yeah,
somewhere in there.
Iowa State, Texas,
13, maybe?
Texas Tech.
Oh. So the Big 12 has like 3 teams in 25.
Yeah.
It's the start of the year.
Raise the banners.
I think the most BYU. I don't know that I feel like needs to be up there. I don't. They ended
23, that's a good spot for
they
them.
ended bad and lost their quarterback. I just don't know that.
I think it's not a bad spot.
We'll
Alex, you gotta keep faith in the Stormin' Mormons.
And then Boise State at 25.
That's it. Boise State at 25. So, just quick, we have some team representation here. What is the most surprising top 10? I'm going to ask everybody that. And obviously, we have some Ohio State and Penn State fans, well, a Penn State fan, Ohio State fans in here. How do we feel about their positioning, and any other general thoughts. So we'll just start. Who's the most surprising in the top 10? Let's start with Neme.
Probably Miami. Are they 10? Looks like
Yeah.
Miami. Yeah, they're just a team they're always, they had Cam Ward last year, number 1 overall pick, still couldn't get over the hump. I think they lost 2-3 games or whatever. They're just they might get all the recruits, but they're never able to put it together, in my opinion. So to me, that's pretty surprising. But it's probably all based on the talent and nothing else. So
Yeah, it's all projections at this point. Alex?
Alex, unmute yourself, buddy.
Yeah. How many episodes?
All right.
Come on now.
Don't be rude.
Be a professional.
Yeah. I would probably say Miami as well. I don't really see anyone else who jumps out as a super shocker to me that they're in the top 10. I looked at LSU, but I think Miami's more surprising than that.
All right, Nate?
I think Clemson being up there was at 6, 7. I mean, yeah, they have Dabo. They have their quarterback coming back, but they really haven't been Clemson-like the past few years.
Okay, Jim?
I mean, that was mine, but I'm gonna let Nate do the honors there. My next would be Alabama. I don't know what Alabama has done to warrant a top 10 besides be Alabama. Like, they need to come out swinging for me to put them in the 10. I'm not saying they're not, top 25, but in the top 10, I don't see it.
All right. I'm just gonna to be different. LSU.
Oof, Muff. What about LSU? You don't like them in the top 10?
Tell me what they did last year to deserve to be.
Their
that high.
recruiting is why they should be where they're at. Exactly where they're
Isn't
at.
that the argument? Sort of the argument that Neme made. Miami recruits well as well, but it doesn't.
I don't think Miami should be out. I didn't make that argument.
I'm making a different argument. So
I'm asking, should they be out of the top 10? You're
I'm
saying
saying
they
it's the most
shouldn't be
surprising
in
in the top 10.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
fine.
not saying
I'm
that-
basing it on, shouldn't be there, is what my criteria is.
Okay.
I don't think Alabama or Clemson should be in the 10.
Clemson has possible title contenders. They got 2 top 5 freshmen that came in. They hit a guy in the portal for once. They never usually get a guy in the portal.
Hey, Neme.
Returning quarterback,
Hey, Neme.
long-term coach.
Get out of here. Yeah, this could be the last time on the show, Neme.
You're kicking out the Ohio boy and the Ohio State fan.
He's going to
Jim.
bring that Dabo shit up in this. Yeah, maybe. Sad Dabo is what we say here.
Well, that's what you say.
Alex is on board with Sad Dabo.
I was going to say
I don't know if Alex is always on board with Sad Dad, but I think it's just whenever there's a betting interest in play.
I will say when it comes to betting is more when I get into the Sad Dabo concept, but it's fun. I have no reason. I have no reason to want Happy Dabo, so Sad Dabo.
Sad Dabo.
All right, that's fair. All right, so let's do a little talk
Georgia's
there.
still going to roll with that quarterback they rolled out there last year, that Gunnar Stockton guy that wasn't too much, to me at least. He seems like a pretty average guy. Usually Georgia's got some top-of-the-line guy.
He's concussed.
Oh, he's hurt too?
I have no idea. I'm just saying that. He may be.
I think until Georgia proves otherwise, that they could roll out a monkey if they want. And I'd be like, oh, look at that monkey go.
Yeah, they'll play defense and be fine.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some Penn State, Ohio State situations here. So let's start first with Ohio State at 2. Obviously, we know we have the 1-2 matchup. Week 1, Texas, Ohio State. So a lot is going to be figured out pretty quick in this top 5, at least the pecking order. We got going on there. So as Ohio State fans, are we okay being at number 2? And what is the sentiment, Jim in Columbus and Neme in Ohio generally?
I'm going to let Neme go first. I want to hear what his take is of 2 and what his vibe is of Ohio.
One question: who's starting at quarterback? Because
we don't know yet.
So that's interesting. To me, that makes it all interesting. This is the first Ohio State team that hasn't had a set in stone starting quarterback since I don't even know. It has to be more than 5-10 years ago, right? So
Probably longer than that.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily mean that's a red flag, but they'll have to. The rest of their team will have to be that much better in order for them to pull the quarterback along with them. But yeah, they're just Jeremiah Smith's honestly like the best player in college football as a sophomore, in my opinion. So there might not be a better college player as a sophomore ever in history of college football, in my opinion. He'll be the number one drafted player as a receiver in the NFL draft. I don't remember the last time that was either. It had to be long ago. So, but yeah, no, I think they should be just fine, and just need some decent quarterback play, and they should be able to run over a lot of people.
So how do you feel with them, number 2? Are you okay? Like, I know Jim always typically has thoughts on the rankings and how this plays into the attitude and how we're going into the season. Are we playing as underdogs or are we playing from ahead? So how do you feel about number 2? And this is initial coaches poll. What do we do with this? We'll find out in 3 or 4 weeks, really, where this all plays out, at least in that first section of the season. So how do you feel about number 2?
I said, if you're looking at Penn State being 3, when's the last time Penn State, beat them or whatever? It's been a while. So I think you have to give the edge to Ohio State there. Georgia, same thing, not really a quarterback. Notre Dame lost their quarterback as well. So again, it's kind of weird. You got Texas, technically lost theirs too. Like he was a backup last year. So top 5 teams, they don't really have a returning quarterback besides Penn State. So it's not usually like that. Usually it's always the returning quarterbacks are always the top team. So this year should be interesting.
All right. Jim, number 2 ranking, sky is falling in Columbus.
Columbus, from a Columbus perspective, silent. It is quiet. Not a lot of conversation. From a Jim perspective, I fucking hate it. I want them to be 5. Go ahead and put Georgia up, put Penn State up, put Notre Dame up, make them 5. So that there's not a lot of hype. That first game against Texas is not 1v2. Just make them 5. Make them earn it all the way through so that they can hit number 1 like, I don't know, the Penn State game. I hate it. But if we're going to have a noon game.
It's just so weird to me. Like, there's some
I don't care who's won.
It's weird to me that they are mad about being number 2. Like, if you came out and said West Virginia was number 2, I'd be psyched. That'd be awesome. Penn State was number 2. I feel like they'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Number 2. And then Ohio State's just like, no, I want to be 5. But if they were 5.
I didn't say Ohio State. I said me.
But if they were 5, they'd be like, we got fucking snubbed.
I didn't say snubbed either. I don't want to be... I want to be low expectations in the beginning of the season and climb the ladder up. That's what I want.
West Virginia wants to be 45. Like, come on.
Yeah. That's a place to start.
But 5, I mean, realistically, Jim, if you're just, say, in the top 5 and you still have this week 1 matchup against a number 1, you win that game, you're likely climbing to 1.
Yeah, and that's it. And then you're stuck there.
So it doesn't matter if you're 2 or 5.
I hate it.
Stuck there. Yeah, if they went out, they're just stuck there. I'll take it. I'd take it.
You walk into Penn State, like the Ohio State-Penn State game at 1. That's bulletin board material for Franklin. Like, we're going to go knock off the number 1 team. I want to be behind Penn State when we go to Penn State. Or when we play Penn State.
So you want them to lose to Texas in the first game of the year?
Yeah, Jim. Sounds like you're rooting for a loss.
What it sounds like to me.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
Okay, we'll see.
I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be like Michigan mad over it.
What's the line week 1? Do you know?
Ohio State's favored. I know that much.
By what, like 3?
I would say it's probably in that 3.5 range would be my guess.
2.5, yeah. 2.5.
Yeah. No. Okay. They're favored, Jim.
They're
the favorites in the 1-2 matchup.
That's the narrative already. Like, it's already come out. This is the first time 1v2 in the season opener where the 2 is the favorite. Like, that's the narrative already.
But it's at Ohio State, right?
Yep.
So that's the 3-4 points for home field. It's basically a pick 'em and a neutral. Basically.
So Texas is already walking in there with that bulletin board bullshit. Like, an Arch is like, they're already hyping Arch as the comeback guy that's going to get revenge from the playoff game. Like it's like you already see the rumblings on social media, and now every time you walk into a big game, Penn State, Michigan, any of these games on the schedule, we could knock them off. And Ohio State are a bunch of head cases. So,
Fair enough.
no, thank you.
All right. Well, Penn State at 3, perfectly content.
Oh, I know you are. I know you are.
Perfectly content. Win week 1, might jump to 2. Perfectly content.
But I'm the asshole for wanting to have that. I want that.
I said I'm content. You said you wanted them to be lower ranked.
I want to be content. I want to be content at the middle of the bar.
Yeah, so I'm content. Penn State, obviously, as Neme stated, is the only team up there that's bringing back a quarterback. Obviously, a quarterback was something to prove after the playoff game. But also, and we'll get deeper into the breakdown next week, bringing back both running backs, and then just trying to figure out what they're going to do at the receiver positions, which include the tight end position. Defensively, I feel good.
I feel about that defensive coordinator. I mean, we're going to talk more about it next week, but I feel about that defensive coordinator doing a little bit of chawing, doing a little bit of talking.
You're going to have to tell me what happened, Jim.
He's been talking a little shit on Ohio State.
What did you expect after they let him not participate in the championship ceremony?
That's on Penn State, like.
So why did he ever go there in the first place? It wasn't money, right? What was the?
It was money.
Oh, Jim says it's money.
It was money.
Oh, okay. Ohio State doesn't have the money to pay him, or like, what do you mean?
Oh, not in their budget, apparently.
Yeah, trust me, no, they don't.
Interesting.
They don't. He was the cut.
Jim says it's money.
Oh yeah.
Says that's the only reason he went there.
Yep.
That seems weird to me. Jim could be right, but that seems like Ohio State can't use money as an excuse.
They got rid of one Jim Knowles and hired 2 NFL Super Bowl winning defensive personnel.
Well, and they got rid of Chip, right?
Chip went on his own.
Yeah, no, but he was getting paid.
Yeah. So the budget looks better now on the coaching staff side of the game. Now, will the wins show it? We'll see.
See on the defense side of the ball. Alex, Nate, any other thoughts on the top 25 and or a little bit of that Ohio State, Penn State talk? Nate.
It's preseason rankings. It doesn't mean shit.
I agree with that.
As expected from Nate. Alex.
No, I don't have anything significant to add.
Did you see Rich Rod? Again, I'd like jumping the gun here. Did you see Rich Rod blowing up on the refs during a scrimmage?
No, I actually didn't see that.
Oh, look that up. Losing his mind. See, that's why I don't know why you're not excited. Because if I was a WVU fan and I saw him blowing up on refs during a scrimmage for not getting the call accurate, I would be amped. But that's the Ohio State coming out in me.
No, I'm excited about it. I'm just saying, like, talking about the Big 12 in general, no. Talking about WVU, yeah. Are we excited?
Teaser.
Nate,
might be
would
my
you want to
favorite.
get yelled at in a scrimmage?
Nate?
Sorry,
Did
what
you
was the
die?
question?
Would you want to get yelled at in a scrimmage?
By a coach? Would it be the first
Yeah.
time?
What is your response in that setting, in a scrimmage, and a coach is like up your ass?
It depends on what he's bitching about.
Okay, what would make you respond negatively and or harshly?
If like 2-3 plays later he's still bitching about it. Like, coach, you realize this is a scrimmage, right? If this is a real game, you'd be 15 and one unsportsmanlike away from ejection, right?
Do you get paid the same as like a regular game for a scrimmage, or is it or like how does that work?
So it depends. Some scrimmages are full game fees, others it is not. It's like an allotment for so many officials, and they'll only pay for so many.
Imagine
Nate,
that, getting a pay cut to get yelled at still.
Yeah.
Nate, would you eject a coach from his own scrimmage?
He would have to really get his money's worth to get ejected from the scrimmage.
All right.
So it's going to take a bit. All right, cool. Well, obviously we're going to get more into the Big 10 and Big 12 next week, and we'll see how that goes. Deeper into Penn State, Ohio State, deeper into WVU, deeper into Iowa State. Everybody out there. So Jim's TikToking. Good.
Not even going to
Can't
deny
prove it.
him.
Can't prove it.
Busted.
All right. Next in the lead off, the ESPN and WWE have reached a 5-year, $1.6 billion agreement. This is not the first time ESPN will come up today, and some agreements that have been reached. ESPN will become the exclusive United States streaming home for premium live events, which includes WrestleMania, starting in 2026. Jim, I have a feeling you have the best opinion on this of the group. What do you think?
That's crazy. It is crazy to me. 1.6 billion. In order to be a full-fledged wrestling, I should say WWE fan, the cost to see everything is somewhere around like $600 a year. From what I saw, you have to have Peacock. You have to have this. You have to have Netflix. You have to have something to see, SmackDown.
Cable.
It's crazy. The cost just to watch the show now is just, and they're betting that fans are going to do it. Like that's a hell of a bet. When back in the day when they first started, and mind you, WWE was the first one to jump the streaming platform. Was $9.99, and now it's going to be astronomical.
How do we feel about ESPN being in this agreement, and would you have rather seen another network?
I don't really care who it is.
Okay.
The mouse is going to own us all eventually.
Isn't WWE and UFC got some kind of
Yeah, they combined for TKO. That's the organization that owns both.
So UFC is the home. ESPN's the home for UFC at the moment, but I heard that was also in discussion, right?
They'll end up keeping the mouse. Will keep them. They're
So
just
I guess
negotiating.
maybe that had something to do with it, with UFC, WWE being.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
We'll
It's
see.
just
It's
crazy.
starting in 2026, correct? We're starting in there. I'll be interested to see what this does for viewership overall. So we will see. And last in the leadoff, Dildo Gate in the WNBA has continued. We have a fourth game now, and the betting markets are even in on it. Not saying the major betting apps and platforms, but I saw that there were odds on what color the next one would be.
So it's like Gatorade?
It is pretty much like a prop bet at the Super Bowl.
All right. All right.
Weird.
Sophie Cunningham also did a little retweet of her own, pretty much saying, "Yep, you got me." Sorry about it. So
I heard it's tied to a meme coin.
excuse you.
A meme coin. So like Bitcoin.
Please connect dildos and
know.
meme coins to me.
I can't really do it justice, Muff. I just read the article. Essentially, someone has created a meme coin and has, in the chat of this meme coin, has challenged the meme coin warriors, and that's what they called them, meme coin warriors, to garner hype by throwing the phallic devices at the basketball games.
So
To draw attention to the meme coins.
So this has a black market financial implication?
Yes, that is the rumor.
Okay. I had not heard that, so
Yeah.
I'm glad I got learned today.
Yeah. It's a loose tie. Again, I read an article. Neme backs me up, so I feel validated here. But
Throwing dildos is what
Yeah.
it said.
That was the headline.
yeah, that's what got me in.
Like,
Got me.
Click. Well, everybody's algorithms just got screwed up for the rest of the week now.
Yeah.
If you weren't seeing it, guess what? You're about to see it now. All right, that wraps up the leadoff. Let's get into some current news in the NFL before our division breakdown. Starting with the mouse again. NFL Network ESPN formally announced a deal between ESPN and the NFL with the league swapping NFL Network linear rights to Red Zone, NFL Fantasy, and other content assets to ESPN for a 10% equity stake in the network. ESPN making some big moves over the last 7 to 10 days.
I wish you quit saying ESPN. That is a shell. That is a shell company for the mouse.
Go on, Jim.
That is Disney strengthening its stranglehold on us. Bob Iger brought in for this particular reason, and that's to grow the stranglehold. He's doing the work. So that's what he did. Well played. That man will go down probably higher than Steve Jobs when it comes to genius. But that's what happened.
Mm-hmm. So with this agreement and this equity stake for the NFL, how do we feel this will impact the viewing experience as well as overall coverage? Because you're talking about NFL Network, you're talking about a lot that has to do with the NFL and this announcement of the deal and how this partnership will continue to blossom. Does this make ESPN develop, we'll say, one or two additional platforms and or streaming options that you now have to pay to do this? And this may significantly increase the cost, not only for WWE, but also for NFL viewership. So overall, what are our thoughts here? Let's start with Alex.
Yeah, good idea.
I think everything is just too expensive anymore. General viewer.
Deep.
What? Go ahead.
That was deep. I like that.
Like, honestly, I'm just like, it sucks that something that used to be like fun and that we used to be able to just do, now you have to worry about, oh, can I actually watch a game because I don't know if I have this, and this. I don't know. Just over it, kind of. I think that I know there's like a whole big thing now where like there's going to be a whole separate ESPN channel that's like $30 a month, and I'm like, wow, I thought I was doing well because I got this ESPN Plus deal and I can watch some games, and now all of a sudden you're hiking it up to like $30 a month, and what's going to be on there? And like, you're going to drive people away from sports by putting a wall behind something that people should just be able to enjoy. Like we can't have local cable you can't just get local cable anymore. You have to have some kind of, cable deal for it. At least there was a point in time where like it was easier to get local cable, and then you could watch your local sports teams. Anymore, you're just like, you got to buy 5 million things, and it sucks for certain people. Like, yeah, I know how to work this smart TV, but like, at what point does like my 89-year-old pap who watches sports every night now have to pay for like 8 different streaming services and figure out how to even work them to watch the football game? So I'm just kind of like irritated with the whole racket that is ESPN, Disney, Paramount, CBS, whatever bullshit that they're going to make me pay for next.
Here we go. Neme, thoughts?
Yeah, it's just adds to it. You need more subscriptions and pay more to watch everything. And there's some games are on Peacock, and some games are on Netflix, and some games can't keep up. I hope Red Zone doesn't go downhill or the Sunday Ticket or Red Zone doesn't go downhill, because that's like my favorite thing to watch in the NFL season. So saw a lot of jokes saying, oh, now there's going to be like 5 commercials a minute on Red Zone as opposed to just straight football. But hopefully that's not the case and they don't ruin it, because Red Zone's an awesome thing to have.
I don't know if the recording's going to pick this up, but in the background of Jim, you heard the train, and that's the mouse coming for Jim.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
All aboard. If trains go through Jim's house and he's no longer, the mouse got him.
Yeah, Jim, get off the track.
Yep.
Choo choo.
Mickey and Donald coming to get my ass.
All right, Nate. Any additional thoughts?
I mean, I always thought like NFL tickets, like to games, were crazy expensive, and the average person would just watch them from home. But now I'm just wondering, like, first year, like, how is this going to affect viewership, and then like, are we going to see like more like places like a Buffalo Wild Wings or like your local sports bar? Like, are you going to see more and more people go there on Sundays just to watch games now instead of watching from home because they're like, oh, I can go sit and have a couple beers and watch 4, 5, 6 different games, pay 10, 15, $20 versus having this streaming service, and this, that, and the other. I mean, I'm curious to see the viewership numbers after the first year.
Yeah. Alex, you have to hook up the local watering holes to make sure that they're good to go.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to, put my eggs in those baskets instead. I'd rather pay for a bucket of Busch Light than pay for an extra subscription.
You're just going to need a Magic Band everywhere you go. As long as it's on your Magic Band, you'll be able to watch whatever you need.
Very concept.
That's what will happen. I don't know why you people think I'm crazy. You'll be born with one.
We don't have time to unpack that.
You'll be born with one. It'll be, here's your Magic Band. It will grow with you. Your Social Security number will be on there. Your subscriptions. It'll all be on the Magic Band.
What do you get a fast pass to? Like, what's the fast pass in life with the Magic Band?
Bathrooms. Telling you.
Get to the shitter quicker.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I am really interested in this viewership and how this plays out. To Alex's point, especially the aging generation, we'll say, and where do they finally draw the line and say, okay, I don't want my, 20 teenage granddaughter, 20-year-old, 30-year-old son to help me figure this out. I'm done. Sorry.
I got another example for you. My father and my stepmother were a part of that generation, right? Mm-hmm. And they bucked the streaming forever. And then the cable got more expensive, and they just were like, "Hey, we're going to start." They started with free, the Tubi, and all that. And once they realized the convenience of the free, like, oh, we get technology now. We can do this of the free streaming. And then they started creeping back. Like, oh, so YouTube TV, oh, Netflix. And like they started putting their toes in the water once they could figure it out. Mm-hmm. So like I think the aging generation, now I'm not talking grandma, grandpa. Like our grandma. I'm talking like our parents will quit and then they'll sneak back and then they'll soon be adopted. Like then they'll sneak back in. Mickey will get us all, damn it. I'm telling you.
It's just like cut their prices to get people back. Like, is there a reason they have to charge $220 a month?
I don't know. I assume the infrastructure, because there is cables and stuff.
I guess.
That's the only thing I can come up with. Is that like there's actual hard wire in the ground for that? I don't know.
But if they want competition and want people to come back, just make it $100 a month for cable and internet or something, and people will be running to you. And these streaming services might lose some stuff then. But until they don't do that, then everyone's just going to stream.
Oh, it's television rights too. Like they don't have the rights to everything anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it.
Yeah, it is those licensing and those rights deals that create the necessity of the streaming platforms.
Yep.
So, all right, from streaming platforms to smelling salts, the NFL. Well, I'll phrase that. It was reported initially that the NFL was banning smelling salts for its players. George Kittle pretty much came out. What was the quote? What did he say? Does anybody remember the exact words that he tweeted or stated?
I don't.
Look it up.
And it came out very adamantly against, in a George Kittle funny haha way. And then within 24 hours, the NFL came out and clarified, saying that the teams are no longer able to be the providers of the smelling salts, and the players themselves can have smelling salts as long as it's not a team-sponsored smelling salt.
Has anyone in here tried smelling salts, or has or not?
Yes.
Yeah,
At some point, I know I have.
just because out of curiosity.
It's bad.
Oh, it's not the best thing I've ever done in my
It's
life. So, yeah, so interesting to see this. And out of my own curiosity, because of how it was reported and they stepped it back, was that the intent as far as was it supposed to be not NFL team sponsored, or is that something they walked back or had to clarify after the fact when it was intended to be for everybody? And they're like, no, 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 sorry, it's just the teams can't do this. You can bring your own stuff. Do we think that was the intent originally, or is this something that had to be done on the fly to appease the masses?
What's the point?
I thought they said it was covering up concussions.
Yeah, it was linked to concussions and obviously then to CTE and all of that. So that was the reason they were stating, is that there's some medical justification that it masks being able to detect a concussion in game or during or while it's going on, whether it's in practice in a game.
I would have to do more research on that. So, like, the concept of smelling salt has to do with, like, ammonia being picked up by your like, instead of, like, your normal olfactory receptors, it basically, like, stimulates your trigeminal nerve instantly. There's, like, a few smells that do that, and ammonia is one of them. But
I don't know way super deep.
What?
We just got way super deep.
I just got very educated. I don't know if this is deep. This is just educated.
No, I'm just saying I don't understand.
Can you back up to what it gets picked up by? Say that one more time.
Trigeminal nerve.
And that is located where?
In your face. It's a cranial nerve in your face.
Okay. Thank you.
But the big thing for me is, like, I don't know how it would mask unless it's just like that. Oh, okay, I have a lot of energy. So, like, if I was, like, drowsy, maybe it, like, stimulates you and you're like, yeah. And you're good. I'm good to go. I'm not, like... But, like, I don't know. I've always thought...
But would not be that be the masking of a concussion if you are... like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's the only way that I can... That's the only, like, real thing that I can think of it being a problem about. Mm-hmm. But...
Would it do anything to your eyes?
I don't know.
And your responsiveness to any of those potential tests?
I don't know.
Because it's not going to help your memory.
Yeah, no, that's
right. If that's part of it.
Yeah, I would have to look into it and see what all they're saying it would help with. But it's an interesting topic. But I don't know. I never really thought of the smelling salts as anything super bad. Like, I know people use them. Like,
maybe that came up during the lawsuits.
Yeah, that we were able to get through it by, like, giving ourselves a little boost energy and.
So that you doctors didn't notice us and couldn't pull us from games?
Might be the one. Neme, did you find what George Kittle said?
I did not, actually. I was starting to go down the smelling salt. It says the AI says it's a conspiracy, so there you go. But it sounds like it's something like it pretty much wakes you up, so like it makes it seem like you're not concussed anymore when you might actually be. But I don't know the whole, like, what Alex was saying, behind the brain type thing. But it almost just, like, snaps you out of whatever you're kind of... Like, if you're dazed and stuff, it'll kind of, like, snap you out of that. And then it kind of... You know, some people might be like, all right, good to go back in the game. Good to go. So I think they just want to, like, limit that stuff. Like,
yeah. But the players can use as much as they want as long as they provide it for themselves. Right, so what have we really done here? It's just a liability, or it's a CYA moment in my mind. Nate, if we're doing this in the NFL, what is the NHL going to do? Nothing.
I don't know what the NHL do.
They're going to main vein smelling salts.
They already do.
Like, they're going to switch it out for cocaine.
They have to up their game, is that what you're saying?
Like... Boys, your arms are falling off. Here's some cocaine. Let's go.
Let's just go. All right, so I'll be interested to see what comes of this. I think this could come up again in the collective bargaining agreement in some way. The players could say something about this or use this to leverage something. Whether or not there's actually leverage there, I think it would be funny. It would be hilarious to me if smelling salts is like some sticking point in the collective bargaining moving forward. George Kittle's in the room, likely will be. Obviously in the NFL, we've got some preseason games. We've got through, we'll say, with the Hall of Fame game being week 0, we've got through week 1 of the preseason at this point. With Sunday night recording. Is there a game Monday night?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So, obviously, on Saturday night, We had the scary situation in the Falcons-Lions game where Reese Norris goes out with a assumed neck injury. And in this particular case, the teams let the clock run out for the majority of the fourth quarter. Was anybody watching this? I only saw stuff after the fact. I mean, obviously, you know that this is incredibly serious, taken out in an ambulance. I believe there was some follow-up that he was conscious and moving some of his extremities. Is that accurate?
From what I saw, yeah.
Did you see the
Yeah.
Did you see the video that just came out like today? Like there was like another camera, and he was having like a seizure like on the field, like he was like shaking.
No.
That's why I think I'll share it with you guys after the call. But that's why everyone was so like distraught, because he was like literally like shaking on the ground. And then like the medical team like throws up like a bunch of like X's, and that means like the backboard comes out. So like, it alerted like the actual, instead of just the medical trainers, it alerted like actual ambulance personnel to like run out there. So,
and the doctors, like everybody, all of the people on the field.
Backboard came out and like immediately, as opposed to later. But there's a video I'll share that's kind of scary, but you could see why it was canceled or why they forfeited the rest of the game.
Yeah, Alex, from a medical perspective, what are some of the potential causes for some type of seizure, at least appearance?
I'm not sure. I mean,
you're not. This is. I know this isn't your area of specialty, but
yeah, no. I mean, you can see a seizure with any like irritation of the brain. Technically, like if you had like a if you get like a head bleed or bleeding on the brain, they'll put you on Keppra, which is a seizure prophylaxis, so you don't have a seizure. I'm not sure if it was that or if it was some kind of like. Yeah, I don't know. In that quickly. My only thing would be a brain injury, but then because of that, you worry about protecting his neck, and does he have a neck injury, which is the backboard. But I did read that he was like, okay, he stayed in the hospital, and then apparently he posted some little video or something saying that he was all good, he was okay, he was moving all his extremities and stuff. So I think he's going to be all right in the grand scheme, but always a scary sight.
In other preseason stuff, we're going to hold on to Shadur Sanders until the end here. Chargers offensive tackle Rashawn Slater, I believe, out for the season. I don't know if that's been fully confirmed, but I think that was the initial speculation. With the knee injury, this is weeks after he signed his record deal. Get that money when you can, folks, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Additionally, Colts running back Sal. Jerry, Micah, Jerry. Colts running back Salvon Ahmed was taken out with a season-ending injury after an illegal hip drop tackle in the Colts preseason game. This just brought a thought to me. Should there be any additional, I don't know if we can do anything about this, but safety measures in place during the preseason and or different fine structures or something that further discourages this, especially when you're talking about this time of the year where everyone's just trying to limit injuries and not being without some of their. I'm not saying Salvon Ahmed isn't a key player, but this could happen to anybody that's in the game.
Put them in bubbles?
It's the preseason. They're pretty much doing that already in the preseason.
Well, I mean, shit happens.
Illegal hip drop tackle. This is I think what is the driving force here, in my mind.
What I'm saying is, like, in the preseason, you don't go headhunt a receiver or something and open, it's across the middle. It's kind of like the same thing, like, don't hip drop, but you got to remember, a lot of these guys are playing for their jobs too, so they're gonna do whatever they can to get the guy down and just be like, I made the tackle, hopefully you sign me now or something. So it's I feel like it's a double-edged sword.
It is what it is.
Texan safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson likely to be back, Jim, for the start of the regular season. This is a welcomed change of fortune, as there was definitely a lot of thoughts and opinions that he would miss significant time with a knee injury. How you feel now about the Texans, Jim? Any better? Worse?
I feel pretty good. It's about the same. Yeah, we're just living right now. We're gonna see.
In Steelers world, Will Howard suffered an injury that will likely put him out for all of the preseason. Definitely going to have an impact on his development his rookie season.
Oh my
getting
God.
into the game. What, Jim? What? You want to always talk about Will Howard. Now I bring this up, and we have this
when
pouty
there's a chance
face.
for you to say it's going to
saying
affect
nothing
his
of the top
development. You're right, because
Well, how many
the
reps
3
is he going
weeks
to
of
get in the regular season,
preseason,
Jim?
not very many. So why would it affect his
Not
development?
many?
Not in the first 6 weeks. It's going to take to heal his hand. We're going to try the Rogers experiment for at least 3 weeks.
Experiment.
Yeah. Have you seen the camp footage of him?
Oh, wow, Jim. A video that shows him going around
Here we go.
cones. Did you
Here we
remember
go.
what they did with
Going
Ben
around cones
Roethlisberger?
worse than my crippled mother.
I was just going to say, he kind of looked like Ben Roethlisberger, and I'm not sad about that.
I mean, they needed to spray an oil can on him the whole time.
Jim, do you believe
I
everything
don't
you
think
see on the
pocket
internet?
presents. Yeah.
Here, you starting to sound like Aaron Rodgers now.
What's up TikTok world right now? Will they slow that down for you?
Come on. Let's just, yep, Aaron Rodgers, conspiracies. We're not going to admit that he can't move or the shit. That's fine.
I don't think moving around the pocket is about necessarily getting around at the lightning speed. It's about buying time to be able to throw the ball. I'm not saying he looks like a 25-year-old in the pocket.
He's not going to buy any time. They need to buy him time at a nursing home.
You don't, or Jim, you don't like how he moves, but what about you? Said you were talking about the Texans. Nick Chubb about to be your starting running back. That guy doesn't move either.
I'm not a big fan of that situation.
And he's supposed to be the one running
I know.
and moving
I know, but
and be agile.
Whoa.
I mean, he doesn't need help distracting us from the fact that the Steelers' experiment with Rodgers is not going to land well.
It's not going to work, I don't think. But whatever. They don't really have any other options unless you're gonna.
Oh, they don't have other options. Will Howard, not an option, Jim.
Yeah, Jim,
That's
do they
not
just give
prerogative.
Mickey Milk at Ohio State there? I mean, he broke his freaking hand on a quarterback center exchange.
I get it. This is his second broken hand. But, like,
I'm an Ohio State fan, but I don't think you want Will Howard as a rookie starting for your NFL franchise. But that's just.
Oh, see, Jim.
I think that
Jim
It's
thinks he's
Rudolph.
going to be in there by like week 8 or 10.
I definitely do.
I just don't. I was never a massive Will Howard fan. He threw to Emeka, Buka, and I don't know. He just had the weapons, insane weapons. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback, but I guess for your sake on the Steelers, I hope he is.
Jim thinks he's the second coming.
I do. I think he's the Steelers' answer.
Okay.
We will see. And last, before we get into the breakdown here, leading into our breakdown of the AFC North, Shedeur Sanders, solid performance. Neme, you said a little bit earlier, but how does this make you feel in garbage time and preseason against the third stringers?
You see how he talks this shit? You see how he sets you up?
So, yeah, third stringers, and it's the Panthers' third stringers. So, I'm gonna pump the brakes. He made some good throws and in windows and everything, but the first series of starters were in, at least theirs were, and he wasn't doing much of anything. And then he kind of, as the second quarter, the third quarter came around, he started, building up the stats. So I don't know. The Shedeur thing's so weird because the Brown, I feel like the organization just won't give up on Gabriel. They think he's better, higher on the depth chart, blah 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 blah. But all the highlights that come out from practice and all the stats that come out from practice all say Shedeur's doing much better. So all the fans think Shedeur's better, and it's just such a weird. You're either over here or you're over here, and that's just how the Browns fandom always is. So, and mind you, neither of them are going to be probably starting week 1. I don't know. I guess Flacco. I don't know. They have 4 quarterbacks and no idea who's starting. So
I mean, they have
Well, I
5.
thought that 5, yeah.
One's just
Flacco
not
will never play another snap ever again. I'll guarantee that. I think so.
ever.
But I don't know.
He can join the Justin Tucker retirement village.
Yeah, he's done. He took his money and just kind of is what it is. But it was fine. Shedeur did fine. Played most of the game and was able to make some throws and throw touchdowns. And I don't think he threw any interceptions.
Yeah.
So no, it was fine.
Garbage time stats for Shedeur Sanders. Alex, does that sound familiar to you?
Yep, it does. I was trying to keep my thoughts to myself. I was going to say he did, on paper, have good stats. I will just keep it objective. On paper, he had good statistics.
All right, everybody, let's jump into the AFC North breakdown as we do the AFC North and the NFC South. Last year's standings, obviously, had the Ravens atop the division 12-5, the Steelers 10-7, the Bengals 9-8, and Browns at 3-14. That's how the chips fell last year. So, Neme, we'll just go over each team, some key additions, key losses, and just general sentiments of each team amongst ourselves. Some will be more in-depth than others, as we all know. First, we start with the AFC North Division winner, Ravens, from last year. They bring in DeAndre Hopkins, Chidobe Awuzie, Joseph Noteboom, John Jenkins, while they lose Brandon Stevens, Patrick McCarry, and Malik Harrison. Now, I know some Baltimore fans. In fact, two of them I was with on this golf trip over the past weekend. And they are kind of where a lot of Steelers fans and the Steelers detractors are, which is, it's great that we win the division. It's great that we have a winning record. It's great that we get to playoffs, but we got to go. We got to do something while Lamar Jackson is still Lamar Jackson. Any other thoughts on the Ravens?
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as Lamar Jackson stays healthy, he's going to get another MVP caliber season. With Zay Flowers breakout, top wide receiver. I think if the defense stays elite against the run and the secondary improves over last year, could be solid. I think the biggest question is, can the pass rush be consistent without over-relying on the blitz? If they can master that out, we got good things. But stay healthy.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds about right.
He's never gone to a Super Bowl, right? So yeah, I think it's time. You gotta go.
Gotta go. Alex, Nate?
Nothing really like that we didn't add before. I hope they don't go because they're the Ravens. I don't like them.
Well, I mean, they also added Jair Alexander from the Packers, so they made some improvements in the defensive backfield.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But still, it's like every year I still think it's like, who is that true receiver that he's throwing to? It's like, yeah, he's got Zay Flowers. They went and got DeAndre Hopkins, but how many downs is he going to play in a game? So, I mean, I think they – and then who was it? Isaiah Likely already got hurt or banged up a little bit. And then Mark Andrews needs to have a big bounce back here.
All right. Next, we go to second place in the AFC North last year, the Steelers, who bring in DK Metcalf, Aaron Rodgers, Darius Slay, Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith as the key additions there. Losses, Najee Harris, say that's key loss. Lost James Daniels along the offensive line, although we'll see how that plays. Larry Ogunjobi on the defensive line. Dante Jackson and Minka Fitzpatrick, along with George Pickens, now in Dallas. Alex, how do we feel about the Steelers? What do we like? What are we concerned about?
I think, and I think I might have kind of expressed this sentiment before.
Jim.
It feels like we're going all in, and it reminds me almost of at the end of the MLB or NHL season when you see these people trade for some older names that are good and reliable, and they're just gonna push you across the finish line to make a playoff run. And I kind of think we're doing that early. I like it. I like that we're making moves. I like that we're showing, hey, we know we need to do something. And I think that this year, if we don't win at least a playoff game or two, that it's going to be a disappointment.
Yeah, I'm with Alex. I think that is the strategy going on right now. Kind of bridge to the next generation that either build through the draft or bring in some younger players on both sides of the ball. Obviously started that with DK Metcalf. The biggest question marks, wide receiver 2 in the offensive line. who is going to step up as wide receiver 2 and or some combination of tight ends to accumulate in the aggregate for wide receiver 2, and will the offensive line, which has struggled over the past few years, will some continuity along the offensive line lead to better performance? TBD. I mean, I'm just going to state the obvious, the locker room cancer.
I was going to say, I'm not even sad about it. I mean, I get it. He didn't really have a great quarterback bring to him, but I'd like DK Metcalf better.
I don't think Metcalf brings the same type of the level of issues. And it's a new person in a new location, so I think he's more apt to probably, I'm going to say fall in line, but like welcome an opportunity for a little bit of a fresh start. So if there were those issues in Seattle, I don't think they are going to at least rear their head early.
And then is Jalen Warren good enough to be like an every down back, or do you think they're just going to be rotating 3 guys, or what?
Rotation. It's a rotation. I think that's the expectation. Jalen Warren, not a feature back, but is a good person to get 10 to 15 touches a game. Hopefully Caleb Johnson's workload goes up as the season rolls on. And there's already discussion about like Jonnu Smith, that H-back position, maybe getting some like odd looks and some interesting ways to get the ball in their hand that may look like an extension of the run game. So, yeah, that's the hope there. Nate, Jim, questions, thoughts?
I don't think the Steelers have found an identity in a while. I think that's an issue. We're not the same Steelers of old, and they need to get back to figuring out who they are.
Fair enough, Nate.
Yeah, I can get alongside that. I mean, when you think of Steelers football, you think of hard nose, ground and pound, tough defense, but defense hasn't been the issue. It's always been the offense as of late. And you bring in all these guys, and one thing I couldn't help but think too, like when you lose someone the size of Najee, I'm like thinking you don't have that back right now, in my opinion, that can run between the tackles and get you those tough yards.
We shall see. Alex, any final thoughts, Steelers?
No, I think one big area of concern is the running game, in my opinion. I think we picked up a couple nice receivers for Aaron Rodgers to throw to. Aaron Rodgers, he's old and not as mobile, but he still has an arm. He's still Aaron Rodgers. If we can get a running game, that's going to be crucial to keeping him upright.
All right. Moving on next to the Bengals. I was at a loss in some ways of finding some information here. Key additions: defensive lineman TJ Slayton, linebacker Oren Burks. Losses: offensive line Alex Kappa. Is that really a loss for the Bengals to lose somebody from the offensive line? I don't know. Defensive lineman Sheldon Rankins, Akeem Davis-Gaither at the linebacker, and Sam Hubbard along the defensive line, who has retired. Obviously, we know everything that's going on with Trey Hendrickson at the moment. As a fan of a team in this division, Neme, you think the Bengals got stronger or weaker this offseason?
They didn't, based on the moves they made, I don't think that they've gotten stronger or weaker, as you could say. As you said, it was hard to find even notables, additions and subtractions, but I just think they're going to, like, especially their offense, they're going to have the number 1 offense in the league for sure this year, I think. Just Burrow, Chase, Higgins, got them all back. Chase Brown, I think he's better running back than what they've had the past, 3-4 years. Mixon stuff. I'd take Chase Brown, just way more versatile. If he could stay healthy for a full year. He's kind of a little guy, kind of like Jalen Warren, kind of the same guy, but they do feed Chase Brown a lot. But yeah, no, I do. I think they're going to be really good. And I think they'll win the division this year over the Ravens. So
there we go. Other thoughts? The Bengals. A Highland, Jim? Is anybody even talking about this? Do you even catch a whiff of this?
No.
Not even a bit. Alex, Nate?
Are they going to be able to stop anybody?
Yeah, I mean that's it. There's every game going to be like 72-68.
That's some primetime television. That's people turn in for that. That I believe. And now to the team that brought up the rear last year, the Browns. And I don't even know if all of these are the key additions or not, Nemi, so you just jump right in if I miss anything. Along the defensive line, Malik Collins is coming in. Offensive tackle, Cornelius Lucas. Also along the offensive line, Tevin Jenkins. Defensive end, Joe Tryon Shoyenka. And while I usually don't go into draft discussions when we get into some of these key additions, we obviously know that Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders drafted to the QB room, and bring in Joe Flacco as well into the mix, along with Kenny Pickett and blah, blah, blah. Key losses, Nick Chubb. Say it again, Nate.
Snoop Huntley, is that the one they just signed? Tyler Huntley?
Oh, yeah, they did just sign. Yeah. Lost Nick Chubb, lost Jedrick Willis Jr. along the offensive line, and Elijah Moore at wide receiver. Nemi, the floor is yours to talk about what you think about the Browns' offseason and any optimism or continued depression that you're going to feel about the Browns season.
Yeah, I think the Vegas over-under of like 4.5 kind of tells you everything that you need to know about what they're going to be this year. Still trying to rebuild from that Watson debacle, I would say. I don't think they're going to be very good this year. Plus the Myles Garrett stuff all off season was weird. Didn't want to be here and blah blah blah. Then signed anyway. So I don't know. That's kind of weird to me too. They did add 2 rookies in the draft on defense with Carson Schweischinger and Mason Graham. So I don't know. Maybe they're younger guys, but maybe they'll help a little bit. And then defensively, we just lost what's his name, the corner to I think he tore his ACL or tore his Achilles or something like that. So that doesn't help anything. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna be very good. Like I talked about earlier, we have 5 quarterbacks now. Snoop Huntley, he's not gonna play in the regular season, but no one knows who's gonna play. So hope they don't do like Joe Flacco starts week 1 and then Pickett starts week 2 and then this starts week 3 and then you're just asking to lose at that point when you can't get into any routine or any bit of a rhythm at all. So Jerry Jeudy, your number 1 receiver, not sure you can be a really good NFL team with that. So I don't expect
he figure him out in Denver, right? Why would he expect to figure him out in Cleveland?
Exactly. Cedric Tillman is your 2. Like, I don't know. I don't think offense is going to be pretty bad. So the only good thing is we have a decent offensive line, but 1 or 2 injuries to that, and then it's just going to be a nightmare on offense. So
how many in-division wins do you think the Browns get?
I don't think the Steelers will be very good this year, so I think we'll beat them once. Plus, we always usually beat them once, and then I don't think we'll get another one.
So you're looking at one division win. All right. Questions for Nemi about the Browns? Thoughts, sentiments?
I don't want to kick him in.
Otherwise,
Sean Junkins.
Well, I wanted Trevion Henderson when the draft was going on, and now I look smart because of what Junkins is doing and what Henderson did in preseason week 1. But I don't know. You haven't heard much in a while, which is sometimes a bad thing. So I don't know. Supposedly he's supposed to be playing this year, but he's not even under contract. They didn't even sign him yet. He was like was he holding out for like guaranteed money or something like that? Or I don't know. He was doing something where he wasn't signing because he wanted guaranteed money.
Yeah, I think he's like one of the only, if not the only, like draft pick that hasn't signed yet.
Yeah, he was asking for guaranteed. I don't know, something weird. But anyway, then he went and did that. So it's not good. So, but I don't know. I don't think he'll play this year. But Dylan Sampson might be pretty good from Tennessee. So we'll see.
Not reason for much optimism in Cleveland, but you beat the Steelers once. Something you can always say every year. With Steelers fans in your face. We beat you this year. All right, that brings us to our thoughts on the end of the year records. Go from first to worst. Let us start with Nate.
Said worst to first?
First to worst.
First to worst, all right. I think it's still the Ravens division until Lamar either gets hurt or something significantly happens. I have the Ravens at 13-4. And then, depending on tiebreakers, I see the Steelers and Bengals both at 10-7. Like Neme said, I think the Bengals offense is going to be very good. Steelers defense, like always, will carry them. Then the Browns, I have at 6-11.
All right, let's go to Alex.
I am choosing to be an optimist, and I will say that the Steelers come out on top at a record of 13-4. I think the Ravens also have a record of 13-4. Bengals just behind at 11-6 because they do something weird in Ohio, and the Browns are 3-14. Sorry.
Neme?
I'm going to go with the Bengals to win the division via tiebreaker or whatever at 13-4. The Ravens will have the same record, 13-4. Steelers, we're going to go under 500 with 8-9, losing to the Browns once. And the Browns will go 5-12, winning 4 non-division games.
Do you have an over on the Browns right now for their season win total?
I don't know, but Jim certainly, well, he'll get there, but Jim certainly should. But I don't, but I guess I would side with the over only because we have a defense and stuff, and, Stefanski's still there, so maybe they sneak out 5, but it's going to be disgusting. And like I said, if they get 1 or 2 injuries to the offensive line, that offense is going to put up 9 points a game, and it's going to be gross.
Got it. I'll go next. I got the Ravens atop the division at 12-5, Steelers at 10-7, Bengals at 8-9. I'm going to go with the under on the Browns win total, 4-13. I say the Browns have 0 in division wins. They somehow find four wins otherwise. Jim?
I have the Ravens at 12-5, Bengals at 11-6, Browns at 9-8, Steelers 7-10.
Explain yourself on the Browns, please.
I have faith that they're gonna turn it around. Shador is the answer, and ChatGPT told me that's what's gonna happen.
All right.
Is that because it's aggregating information from within the state of Ohio that's very optimistic about the Browns?
I just told it, hey, give me what you think's going to happen, and I'm going to put it in here. And when it put the Steelers at the bottom, I went, that sounds like great stuff to put in there.
So you're saying these are not your guesses. This is not your end of your records.
This is, because I support this.
Browns over 8.5 wins, 5.5 to 1. Book it, I guess.
Just put $10 there, Jim. You'll win 55.
There you go.
I'm about it.
Okay, put your money where your mouth is, buddy.
I might. You're not the boss of me.
I'm not. I'm just asking you to commit.
Okay.
All right. To some of this, since 2 people in this have the Steelers with a losing record. I saw a pretty funny graphic. I don't think it was really attributed. It may have been like a Barstool Sports graphic where it was teams' best possible record, teams' worst possible record. For every team in the NFL, it said best possible record 17-0, worst possible record 0-17. The Steelers, it said best possible record 9-8, worst possible record 9-8. Okay, nobody else finds any humor in this.
Okay. Agree with that. No, I was going to say maybe the only thing I would have switched was 8. Best possible record 9-8. Worst possible record 8-9.
There we go. So, all right, let's.
Nobody had Steelers 9-8 either. Not even AI.
Not even AI predicted that. Probably the most probable outcome, right? 9-8 when you think of historically here. So we shall see. Let's get next into the NFC South. The Bucks, Nate's team in this division, atop the division last year. The Bucks at 10-7, Falcons 8-9, Panthers 5-12, Saints 5-12. Let's start with the Buccaneers, who bring in Hassan Reddick, Anthony Walker Jr., Kendall Vildor, Charlie Heck, and Emeka Ibuka at wide receiver. Key additions in the offseason for the Bucks, offset by key losses of Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, Robert Hainsey, Shaq Barrett, William Golston, and Mike Edwards. Nate, the floor is yours to talk about the Bucks offseason, any feelings of continued optimism with Baker Mayfield at quarterback, and some general thoughts on the Bucks season.
If Baker can play like he did last year, they have a really good shot at making some noise in the playoffs. The only thing I'm concerned with off the bat is getting off to a slow start. you got Godwin on PUP and you got Tristan Wirfs on PUP. So they're going to miss their first 4 weeks of the season no matter what. That's where Emeka Buka really is going to have to step up. I mean, the hype's already there, being first-round draft pick out of Ohio State. His resume speaks for itself in college. So he's really going to have to step up and be that wide receiver 2, maybe even wide receiver 1 if Mike gets doubled up a good bit. And then on the defensive side, I really like them bringing in Hassan Reddick. Joe Shoyanka was supposed to be this stud pass rusher they drafted in the first round a couple years ago. He never really got to that. So if they can find someone to rush the passer consistently, because I say it every year, they can't cover anybody. So losing William Golston too was someone who was pushing for like 7-8 sacks a season at the defensive tackle position. So they are really going to rely on their young guys that they drafted too in the defensive backfield to try to help out with this division. Even though it's not the strongest division, I think it's starting to get stronger. On those weaker teams are starting to build their wide receiver rooms, and you got some younger quarterbacks coming in now. So I don't think this is going to be the year for the NFC South to make some noise, but maybe 2-3 years from now, it's going to be, I think, a pretty competitive division.
All right, cool. So with all of that, your general thoughts of the Bucks here, and I don't want to give away your end of your record predictions. You did say some of those bottom teams are starting to build up. Do you have concern about one specific team and their ability to take the Bucks off the top of the division this year?
Yeah, I think it's the Falcons. Falcons got them twice last year. One game they let Kirk Cousins look like an MVP, go for 500-some yards. And I think even the second time they played him, he kind of lit them up. Same thing, like they got Bijan Robinson in the backfield. We'll see what Michael Penix Jr. can do as the first year as an opening day starter. And then you got Drake London, Kyle Pitts, who they couldn't cover for whatever reason last year. So they've got some young talent over there as well, and I think they kind of snuck up on some people. And if they can get some good quarterback play on Michael Penix, I think they're going to make some noise.
Awesome. Any other questions for Nate about the Bucks?
No, not really.
All right. So we're going to see how that plays out in our end of year record predictions for the Bucks here. Let's move on to the Falcons. Key additions on the defensive side: Leonard Floyd, Divine Diablo, Mike Floyd, and Jordan Fuller. All on the defensive side of the ball seem to be the key additions that people are talking about. Losses on the defensive side: Grady Jarrett on the defensive line, and offensive lineman at the tackle position, Brandon Parker. I think Nate had a lot of good insight into the Falcons already with his discussion of the Bucks and the Falcons being that team. What do you feel about the Falcons, and do we think Michael Penix is going to lead a resurgence in Hotlanta? Neme, what are your thoughts?
Their offense is just one of those that's always really fun to watch. Drake London, Mooney, McLeod, Pitts, even though he never works out to be what he's supposed to be. But I guess he's an athlete, so you never know when he might come on the scene. They definitely were a lot better with Penix and Cousins back there last year. And I'm happy that they finally started workhorsing Bijan instead of splitting with Algier. I think that'll continue. They're just going to feed the guy. I mean, he's his third year now or something like that. So it's probably time to, let him Saquon around, I guess you can call it. But yeah, again, their defense, I mean, they're usually really good at rushing the passer, but that's kind of about it. They don't really stop the pass very well. So if, they can protect the quarterbacks, they usually get picked apart pretty good. So they're usually a team that's fun, kind of like the Bengals, higher scoring type games. But yeah, no, I think they're up there with, they're all, like I said, like Nate was saying, the division's kind of all becoming bunched at the top. I don't think there's any like horrible teams besides maybe one that we'll talk about, but yeah.
All right. You said Bijan Robinson's name correctly, not Bijan, which
Bijan.
Yeah, came
like
out.
Dijon mustard. Bijan.
I saw that clip and I was like, huh. Apparently, a lot of people missed the boat on this one.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, Falcons?
I agree a little bit. Not a little bit. I should say I agree a lot. I like Kirk Cousins, but I think Michael Penix has
Higher ceiling.
a young, athletic feel that if I think of classic Falcons offenses, that will fit in a little better. So
yeah, I agree.
I think that I don't know that this year will be a big year, but I think if they stay together, I think there are promising pieces that are young enough that they could move into a couple good years.
Yep.
All right. Next, let's move on to the Panthers. Key additions on the defensive side of the ball, along the line, Tershawn Wharton, and the defensive backfield, Trayvon Moehrig, Patrick Jones, Bobby Brown on the defensive line as well. They also bring in Rico Dowdle from Dallas at running back, and Christian Roseboom at the linebacker position. They do lose Jadeveon Clowney, Xavier Woods, and Miles Sanders. A lot of talk about the ownership, obviously, in Carolina at this point. Will Bryce Young be able to replicate the successes of last year and help lead the Panthers to being competitive week to week and maybe in a position to have a winning season? I think those are some of the major questions that are being asked about the Panthers. So, Jim, any thoughts for you about the Panthers and what could be this year?
I think they're going to struggle. I'm not looking forward to this team. I think they're going to be at the bottom of the league.
So Bryce Young goes back to what he was rookie year.
Yeah, but I don't think it's his fault.
Okay. The team just stinks.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts about the Panthers, Nate?
As my dad once said, a Panther's a pussy.
Whoa.
Did not expect that one to be coming out. Put that on the board of Jim. Put that in. Put that. What was our namesake or keepsake thing that you started?
Keepsake.
Things to remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Short.
It might be. I don't know if that's picked up on the algorithm. It might be one I have to dig down and get. Any other thoughts on the Panthers? No, I think we end with Nate. I think that's where it ends. Oh, and last,
Guns hot. Loved it.
and certainly least in this division, at least last year, maybe this year, the Saints had a lot of moves, but I don't know if these moves are going to equate to anything better for them. We will see what the rest of the group thinks, but they lose Justin Reed, Brandon Cooks, or they add, sorry, Justin Reed, Brandon Cooks, center Will Clapp, Jonah Williams on the defensive line, Donovan Peoples-Jones coming from Cleveland, is that right?
Yes.
That's right.
Vernon Broughton, linebacker Stanley Stutzman. So those are key additions. Not going to say any of those are really household names.
I think this team is going to be like what Jim was saying. The Panthers were going to be like. This team is terrible.
Yeah, they lose Paulson Adebo. Yeah. Will Harris, Peyton Turner, they lose Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Again, if you call that a key loss at this point, I think there's concerns there. And Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, and Derek Carr both hung up the jerseys and they retired as Saints players. Yeah, not a lot of optimism for New Orleans at this point. What would have to go right in New Orleans for them to be a better team than most are expecting, projecting, and to improve on last year?
Kellen Moore's got to be a massive here.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really even know if I can come up with an answer that's plausible.
Well, remember the first 2 weeks of the season?
Where we are with this one,
those world beaters. They scored
we've got nothing.
The first 2 weeks of the year last year, they were great on offense, and then they just sputtered out. I mean, I guess the only thing you can say for the Saints is they still have Cam Jordan at defensive end, and they still have Alvin Kamara in the backfield.
Yes, those are positives if we're going to look at it. They return a couple really good players. Alvin Kamara had some down, but that's, I think, a product of the team just being terrible all around. Not a lot to say about the Saints here. So let's move over to our end of the year record projections in the NFC South. Let us start with the man who has some interest and some hopes for his team in this division, Nate.
I think the Bucs get it done at 11-6, and to me, that's their ceiling after looking at the schedule. Again, I think not having Wirfs there at the beginning of the year, I think not having Godwin's presence is going to is going to hurt. First few games, see when he comes back. Falcons, as I said, I think 9-8. I think Michael Penix's first full season, they're going to have some growing pains a little bit, but they're going to have some moments where they really shine. Panthers are going to be okay, not the bottom of the barrel. They're going to be 6-11, and the Saints are going to be dog shit at 4-13.
There we go. Panthers are pussies, and the Saints are dog shit. It's good.
It's coming hot.
It's good bites there. Good bites. Let's go to Jim.
I got the Falcons at 10-7, Bucks at 9-8, Saints at 8-9, and the Panthers, the pussies, at 5-12.
I don't think we can refer to them as that after today, so let's...
That's why I'm getting my fill. I'm going to the well here.
Keep that in the keepsakes, and we'll maybe refer to that at the end of the year. See if it's true.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go next. I'll have the Bucks atop the division at 10-7. Panthers, little surprise. Well, kind of building on the momentum from last year. Find a way to get to a winning record at 9-8. Falcons at 8-9, and Saints, dog shit, 3-14 for me. Neme.
Opposed to you, Falcons at 10-7, Bucks at 10-7, Panthers 8-9, Saints 4-13. See, no one like really, really good, but it seemed I bet they all beat up on each other, and then they struggle against some of the other divisions or whatever. But it seems like a division that'll be pretty close through the year.
All right, and Alex, thoughts on the NFC South?
I am going to go with Nate and say the Bucs will go 11-6. I think the Falcons come in at around 10-7. I think there's potential there to flip flop. But then Panthers around 5-12, and I think the Saints at best are 4-13.
All right. So we're gonna see this one goes. Everybody but Jim pretty down on the Saints here, and we all pretty much are looking at the Bucks and Falcons. That's the Ohio boys. I think the Falcons are gonna get it done.
Yep.
Okay. Is there some ulterior motive there I don't know about?
Not like we
Both
called
of
each
you-
other.
I didn't use AI though.
Jim, did you use AI?
Not on this one, no.
Okay.
No, these are your thoughts.
These are my thoughts.
All right.
Might be able to hit a Saints win total over too. Looks like.
What are the odds on that? Saints over 7.
I'll pull it up.
Or Saints 8+ is probably 8+ might be. While we're getting to that, we'll refer back to that here in about 30 seconds probably. College football, not going to get too much in the offseason there because of our breakdowns next week. But we are under 2 weeks away.
Either.
Yeah, I know. And we did the coaches poll, so I think that was the bulletin board material for the past week. But I do want to ask, Nate, you're about to get into football season here.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in football officiating shape? Condition?
Maybe not a full game yet, but I'm sure got a couple of scrimmages on the docket this week, so we'll see how we feel after that. I think they said the second scrimmage I've got this week they're going to treat like a game, or at least some sort. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I imagine the first real game, just like the players, there's going to be jitters. There's going to be things where I'm like, all right, I'm really not in shape for 4 quarters yet, and it's still miserably fucking hot on turf. But I know I've been trying to get moving around a little bit more than I have been over the summer. So hopefully I'm in better shape than I think I am, but we'll see.
Jim, I want you to know
That's not
that
TikTok, damn it.
you have the most background noise of anybody in the world when we record.
And it's not even your
I'm sorry.
kids.
Everybody.
Was that Crypto Slot? What was that?
I'm sorry. I was
What
trying.
are you doing? What were you doing? Are you playing Candy Crush?
I saw an article. I tried to click on the article for college football news, and a damn Temu ad came up. It spun the damn spinner. I'm sorry.
Would you
Sorry.
win?
Hold on. What was the Temu ad for?
I don't know. It was trying to give me a discount. Of course, it said I had things for free because it's Temu. I'm sorry.
Well, you can spend some of that Temu money because if the Saints win 8 games, that's 3.4 to 1 on your money over 7.5. So you'd have some money for Temu that way.
Fair enough.
You could be up like 8 units, Jim, if you put overs on the Saints and what was the other team?
It was the Browns.
The Browns. That could be an 8 unit up, Jim. I'll even let you put that into the betting units if you wanted to.
Thank you, Muff. Thank you.
For the show.
I appreciate it.
So if you put down that gauntlet, have at it. Nate, what do you do? What's your regimen? Do you run? What do you do to get ready?
Yeah, I try to get out more and like not like just run, but like if I go to like down to like university's track or whatever, like I'll jog the straights and walk the curves or whatever. Like try to get into that start-stop kind of mentality where I'm not doing dead sprints because I'm never going to have to on a football field unless it's like a big turnover and guy who's going to take it the other way. But like starting and stopping, things like that.
All right. That wraps up some just real quick college football stuff, which brings us to other interesting news in sports.
Interesting news in sports.
Alex, did you just do that because you didn't think Jim was going to remember? Or are you trying to steal his thunder? What are you doing?
I always do it with him.
He does.
Do you even pay attention to us?
He doesn't. Unless I'm making noise, then he's pissed off.
Jim does not pay attention 90% of the time.
Muff,
His
you're
head is
full of
down.
shit.
His head is down.
Because
He's looking at his phone.
I'm trying to get new news. Trying to make sure we're always
had a
on.
long weekend of drinking and golfing. You guys got to cut him some slack.
He's being a real big butthead right now.
Jim, it's tough to engage with the people that you're talking to when you're looking at your phone the whole time.
I'm trying to get news. I'm trying to have my finger on the pulse.
Well, Jim, this is your
Sunday
segment.
night,
It's NASCAR.
that's news break night. Yeah. NASCAR, man. Turn left. Tell us what happened, buddy.
So while celebrating in Victory Lane, Connor Zilisch fell from his car and had to be taken to the hospital. I'm not laughing. He made a pose on the door and roof of his car, lost his footing, and fell to the ground. His injury led him to miss the cup race today. He says the window net was on the door, and as soon as I started spraying the water, my foot slipped, and the last thing I remember was being halfway down and falling. He's so glad that it wasn't worse and that the collarbone was the extent of his injuries, but he's sad he couldn't make the race today. The thing is, he's already won 6 Xfinity races, so like he's competing for the Xfinity Cup right now, and he's got this broken collarbone. And like they had to haul him out.
What kind of pose was he trying to tempt on this door?
He definitely tried to like double hand up, like "Yay, I won!" Whoop, gone. So it could have been a real serious injury, like I guess, because it's not like he's falling on padding; like he fell to concrete.
What kind of injury timeline do you give a NASCAR driver a broken collarbone? Is that like a 2-week or like a 2-month, or what are we talking about?
On a collarbone, turning left, depending on which one you got, like that could be a long time, right?
Bones to heal.
Go ahead, Alex. What?
It takes at least 6 weeks for bones to heal. Now, that being said, I don't know what kind of fracture he had. I don't know, did he snap it in half? Did he? Because there's grades of clavicle fracture. And
none of them are good.
Well, I mean, yeah, no intact bone is the best bone.
Clavicle is the worst, though. I'm not a fan of the clavicle because there's shit next to it that are super important.
Oh yeah, you could puncture a lung.
Yeah, and it's a sharp bone
with it, like kind of like how you would with a needle.
Yeah, that's enough, but it's a sharp bone.
Yeah, you could pierce lungs like your boy Jim. Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, I was just making sure that I gave you all the facts. Make you stress about breaking your clavicle.
But there's like arteries and shit right there too, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of vasculature.
Your
right
heart
there. It
is there. Yeah.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
From these major organs, got it. Are we just glossing over the fact that he knocked himself out?
He did not. He did knock himself
Are we
out.
not worried about a concussion
I mean, yeah, but
in
like,
NASCAR world, or do we just heal this with smelling salt in NASCAR and we're good to go?
Yeah.
I think it's
Obviously,
just
his helmet
assumed.
was off.
Yeah, his helmet was definitely off. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so is that going to be a NASCAR thing? You have to keep your helmet on until you've securely exited the vehicle?
You got to keep your
Why
helmet
I
on
tell
for
kids in
celebrations.
baseball all the time when they're coming off the field after they ground out, I said, leave your helmet on until you get back to the dugout because I don't trust these asshats throwing the ball around the infield.
Not a bad idea in the high school level, right? And or younger.
Mm-hmm.
JV games get a little dicey, Nate.
Yeah, I get hit more in JV games all season long.
All right, Jim, what's going on in hockey world?
Oh, yeah, I was trying to think about what I put in here. Seattle Kraken forward John Hayden and the team's blue-haired troll mascot had a close call with a brown bear during the promotional video shoot in Alaska. And it wasn't staged. It's not like, hey, bring the trained bear out. Like, they were just shooting in the river in Alaska, and out came a bear, and they had to run away from a bear. And they kept that footage in the promotional video.
It's pretty intense. So what is it? If it's brown, get down.
If it's brown, get down.
And
Yeah.
if it's black, get big.
If it's yellow,
Like,
let
that's
it mellow. Where are you going with it?
That's how you're supposed to respond if
Where
you're
do you
in
find out
proximity.
this
of a bear.
shit?
I mean, I live a life, Jim.
What kind of life do you live? Is it the Boy Scouts? Like, where did you find that out?
One where I consume
Was-
information and
was
knowledge
a
and
very
try to
good Boy
retain it.
Scout, Jim.
Right, but when did you gather that info? And
I
what?
believe it was at some point in the scouting situation.
See, that's perfect. That right there is why you are my guy. You are a Boy Scout.
One thing for this,
Yeah,
it says if the bear makes contact with you,
you're dead.
fall on the ground and play dead and wait till the bear leaves. So that's
Or
for a
just
brown bear.
pray. What kind of contact are we talking about? Like, if it touches you?
If it swipes you in the head, just go down and act like you died. You might have died.
Don't fight back.
I mean, smelling salts, right? Isn't this the solution?
Right.
What if you get a bear smelling salts? I wonder what that would do to a bear.
I saw a shirt out today, and it said, "All fungi are edible, some only once.
Oh, I like that.
All
I like
bears are
that.
approachable, some only once."
And that's fun. Huh. That gives me an idea for the girls' podcast. Like, who wins in a fight? What would you do if you found a bear? Tessa,
Found a bear, or the bear found you?
Tessa would be like, punch in the face. Transfer for everything. We lost Nate, by
Also,
the way.
AI, Muff was correct. AI says if it's a black bear, get big. So he knows his stuff.
That's that Boy Scout in him, I'm telling you. The rules about Muff, you can trust him with anything, and if you ever need an answer, screw AI, go to Muff.
What's the Leo DiCaprio movie, The Revenant or whatever?
Yeah. Well done. See?
Yeah, that's what he
Random
did.
knowledge with Muff.
He got down, and the bear almost destroyed him, but he didn't
He was
die.
down.
All right, last and other interesting news in sports in the baseball world. I don't know how to pronounce this last name. Jen Pawol
Yeah.
becomes the first female to umpire in MLB over this past weekend in a Braves Marlins series. So, baseball, good. Manfred, good.
Don't go too far.
Why, Jim?
Thought we didn't like him. In degrees of suck. He's not Kevin level.
Well, as far as commissioner level, I understand he's maybe not the best.
But you just called him good. I don't know if we're going to call him good. Let's give him an okay.
Give him an okay for this.
Yeah.
This gesture. Is this a gesture?
I don't want to diminish Jen's role here.
I was just going to say, that
We're gonna
gesture makes it sound like he did it because she's a woman and we're letting her play.
Right.
I'm really sad that
That's
of all
fair.
the times for Nate to be disconnected, it's now.
Right. Nate had to drop out.
Neme did say, I'm just going to say this
You're
because
going
you
to put
brought
this
it
on
up.
Neme. That's not even fair.
He did say it.
He's
I'll
a
take it.
guest.
The first ball strike call was incorrect.
First pitch of the game was about a foot outside, called a strike.
That was probably
But
nerves.
it can only go up from there.
Right.
I guess that has set the bar not low, but you've left room for improvement.
Set the bar on the outside.
The second pitch of the game was in a similar spot, and the guy had to swing at it and put it in play.
All right.
Good job, Jen. Mariano Rivera tore his Achilles in the Yankees old-timer game within the past week. I guess that's what happens when you try to do things when you're older. As somebody that's going to be 40 in about a week's time here.
Yeah, buddy.
I have a question for the group. As you age, what injury, we'll say an athletically focused injury, something that athletes happen or something that can typically happen just through movement, not going to say like falling and breaking your hip, but what injury would you be most concerned about sustaining as you age?
Injury?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was going to say those ones.
But Achilles is mightily close.
Yeah, if I had to rank them, I think the Achilles is one. The clavicle, as we've already talked about, is definitely 2 because it's scary and pokey. And then the back injury for me is 3.
I think.
Alex, what type of back injury would be like the worst? We'll say not traumatic, but like an injury that you see as people age that they do something they probably shouldn't be doing.
Technically, the worst is what's called like cauda equina syndrome. It's a.
Here we go with the big words again.
You asked.
I know, but like now you gotta have me like mind blown.
I don't know how else to say it other than you literally lose function of your bowel and bladder, and you get saddle anesthesia. So like where would be touching when you're riding on a saddle is numb.
How do you get that injury?
That's like a slip disc or some kind of impingement in the lower portion of your spinal cord.
Okay, new number 1. That.
What about like sciatica or something like that? Legs go numb and stuff? Like,
yeah, that's not a surgical emergency at the same level that like cauda equina is. Like if you come in the middle of the night and you have like true loss of bowel and bladder function, like we're going to take you to the OR and.
Yeah.
And what?
To Muff's point, you can't really function on sciatica. There's just a lot of back injuries that you're not going to be an athlete anymore.
Yeah, no. Sciatica specifically is when your piriformis muscle tightens down and pinches on your sciatic nerve. But you can also get like slip discs and things like that can obviously cause you a lot of issues. But if we take them to the OR for that, Jim, it is primarily like basically your canal. For whatever reason, be it a disc in the way or...
What fucking canal are you talking about? My
spinal canal.
Oh, okay. All right. Which is still bad.
Yeah.
Still bad.
You basically open it up to relieve the pressure. In layman's.
All right, so Jim has a new number 1.
Yeah.
Nemi's something back related.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm like very much anything lower body. Like anything that will significantly limit my ability to be mobile for more than a month. That could be a broken ankle. That could be
I've seen you. You gotta quantify that. I've seen you on like hurt ankles. Your mobile for you is like. Are we talking bedridden?
Yeah, it's saying like anything that would require you to like rehab for a decent amount of time on your legs in order to get back to like full strength to golf or something. Probably what he's saying.
Yeah, okay.
You're right, and I mean that's gonna be tough. Just anything that's gonna significantly limit my ability to be physically active as like walking.
All right, because like I've seen you sprain ankles, like and you still keep going.
Well, those are I look at them weird, and they do things.
Right. So like, all right, that helps. Thank you, Neme. I appreciate that.
You got it.
Alex, that's the youngest member of the group.
I don't think he can hear you anymore. I think he's froze.
Alex has left the chat. All right. Well, with that, we're going to finish up this episode of Sports Stuff with Jim Muff. Again, thanks, Neme, for joining us. You going to be around next week, too? Is that the plan?
Yep, that's the plan. Like I said, I'll be coming back from that 3-day bender with some college buddies, a lot of the guys that you know. doing some fantasy drafts and golfing and stuff. But I should be here.
All right, so join us next week as we break down the Big Ten, the Big 12, and prepare for Week 0 leading into Week 1 of
Hopefully
the college
that
football season.
West Virginia infrastructure brings our fellas back.
Yeah, apparently there's a problem in the state. Where they can get Starlink, so we need
maybe
Elon. So if the mouse is taking over the world, what's Elon doing?
he'll be fighting Bob.
There'll
There'll be a fight. It'd be like the Terminator showdown.
All right, well, stay tuned for that type of Terminator showdown. It'll be Bob Iger, Elon Musk, and all of the AI-developed tools. Jim's already on that conspiracy theory bandwagon.
Yep.
Tune in for more next week on Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff.